All right, so today we will start lying on our backs in Shavasana. So we will start and end in Shavasana today. So laying down on your back, palms up to the sky, closing your eyes, letting your feet naturally turn out, and just breathing here. So as you inhale, feeling the air rise into your lungs, rising to your stomach. And as you exhale, feeling everything release. Inhaling all the positive energy and exhaling any stress or any negativity throughout your day or your week. And trying to keep your inhales and exhales the same length. So inhaling maybe for a count of 4 and exhaling for a count of 4. We'll take a few collective breaths together before we start our practice. So inhaling through the nose and open your mouth, exhale, release. Inhale through the nose and open your mouth, release. Return to your regular breathing. Focusing on keeping those inhales and exhales the same length. And as always, throughout the practice, you can always come back to your breath. And we'll focus on that today as well. So as we move through poses, if we're holding them, no matter how challenging they are, just continuing to breathe. And this will be a yummy flow class, so hopefully you'll enjoy. Bringing your knees into your chest, giving yourself a big hug. Maybe rock from side to side to release any tension in the spine. Maybe you kind of move front and back, whatever feels good for you and your body today. And when you're ready, rocking and rolling into a child's pose, or however you want to get there today. So for your child's pose, either keeping your knees together or coming to a wide-legged child's pose, knees to the width of the mat, sitting on your heels, reaching your arms long and bringing your forehead to the mat. And feeling the stretch in your body, reaching your fingertips long just to get a nice shoulder stretch. Release any tension in your neck. And coming back to your breath. Inhale and exhale. And then walking your fingertips over to the right side. Trying to reach your left arm longer than your right. And feeling that nice stretch on the left side of your body. And breathe into the stretch here. Walking your fingers back to center. And then walking over to the left side. Again, trying to reach your right arm longer than your left. Feeling a nice stretch on the right side of your body. Walking your hands back to center. Perhaps it feels good for you to flip your palms up to the ceiling. Feeling a nice stretch in your shoulders. Or maybe you reach your arms back behind you, palms to the sky. Wherever you are today. And coming back to center, lifting the right arm to the sky. And on an exhale, spreading your right arm under your left and bringing your ear to the mat. Basically threading the needle here. Feeling a nice stretch in your shoulders. And breathing here. Releasing your right hand back to center, reaching low. On an inhale, lifting your left arm up to the sky. And on an exhale, threading it under your right. Bring your left ear to the mat. And breathing here into the stretch. And slowly bring your hands back to center, returning back to child's pose. And on an exhale, coming up to tabletop, coming to a neutral spine, making sure your hands are underneath your shoulders, your knees are underneath your hips. And we'll take a few cat-cows to warm up. So on an inhale, drop the belly, lift the gaze. On an exhale, rounding the spine, looking towards your navel. Inhale, drop the belly, lift the gaze into our cow. And exhale, rounding the spine into that angry cat. Inhale, coming into our cow, lifting your tailbone and your chest. Exhale, rounding the spine. And now take a few more at your own pace, linking the breath to the movement. And maybe it feels good to move side to side, wherever you are today. And slowly returning to a neutral tabletop, tucking your toes and coming into your first downward dog of the day. From here, it may feel good to pedal out the heels, wag your tail, moving from side to side. And try to find a point of focus in between your legs, between your feet. So whenever you return to this position, as we do come to a downward dog a few times in class, you can focus your gaze there. Shifting forward into a plank, hands underneath your shoulders, slowly lowering down to the mat into a belly shavasana. Keeping your hands underneath your shoulders. On an inhale, we're going to peel the chest off the mat into a baby cobra. And exhale, releasing your head back down to the mat. Inhale, coming back to that baby cobra. Feeling this nice gentle back bend. And exhale, releasing your forehead to the mat. Inhale, baby cobra. And exhale, coming back to a tabletop. And then coming back into your down dog. Again, focusing on that point between your legs. And slowly walking your feet to meet your hands at the top of the mat. Keeping your hands on the floor, feet hip width apart. Grabbing each elbow with each hand, coming to a ragdoll position. Release your neck, releasing your head down. You can shift side to side here. Feel the nice gentle stretch. You can bend one leg, straighten the other to get a nice hamstring stretch. And then switch for the other leg. Releasing your hands back down to the mat. Grabbing your big toes or your peace fingers. Bending down, bring your knees to your chest and opening your elbows to the side. Releasing your head and breathing here. Releasing your fingers and slowly rolling up vertebrae by vertebrae with your head the last to come up, meeting at the top of the mat with your feet together, palms open, forward as we come into Tadasana or mountain pose. So we'll warm up with a few half suns to begin, and from there we'll go into some sun A salutation. On an inhale, lift your palms up to the sky. On an exhale, hinge at your hips, fold forward. On an inhale, lift up halfway, flat back, hands on your shin. Exhale, release back down. Inhale, root to rise, palms to the sky. And then exhale, bring your hands to heart and center. Inhale, palms to the sky. Exhale, hinge at the hips, fold forward. Inhale, lift up halfway, flat back. Exhale, release everything down. Inhale, root to rise, palms to the sky. And exhale, bring your hands to heart and center. So from here, we'll add on a little bit more to our sun A salutation. So on an inhale, palms to the sky. On an exhale, hinge at the hips, fold forward. On an inhale, lift up halfway, flat back. On an exhale, step back into your high plank. From here, making sure your hands are underneath your shoulders. Trying to keep your core engaged to keep your center of gravity. Breathing here. If you need to, you can always drop to your knees. And we're going to hold this. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring your knees to the mat. Exhaling back down. That belly shavasana, releasing your toes. Placing your elbows underneath your shoulders. Your arms in front of you, forearms in front. On an inhale, lifting up into the Sphinx pose. So from here, opening your chest, opening your heart, making sure your fingertips are actively engaged, gripping the mat, and feeling that nice gentle back bend. Breathing here. And exhale, release back down. You can release your arms to your side if you like. And we'll do that one more time. So again, bring your forearms in front of you. On an inhale, lifting up in a Sphinx pose. Breathing here. And on an exhale, coming back to downward facing dog. Again, you can pull out your feet here as we warm up the body. On an inhale, walking your feet to meet your hands. Inhale, half lift, flat back. Exhale, release back down. Inhale, root to rise, palms to the sky. And exhale, hands to heart and center. So we'll go through that again. That was a modified Sun A salutation. So we'll go into a Sun A salutation. On an inhale, palms to the sky. Exhale, hinge at the hips, fold forward. Inhale, lift up halfway, flat back. Exhale, coming back down to that high plank position. Again, we're going to hold this plank for a couple counts. So just breathing here. On exhale, release your knees to the mat and exhale back down. This time, we're going to place our hands underneath our shoulders and lift up into similar to a Sphinx pose, an up dog, but our toes are on the mat. Breathing here, lifting your head, lifting your chest. Exhale, coming back to downward dog. Bring your feet to meet your hands at the top of the mat. On an inhale, lift up halfway, flat back. Exhale, release. Inhale, root to rise, palms to the sky. And exhale, bring your hands to heart and center. Inhale, palms to the sky. Exhale, reverse swan dive down, hinging at the hips. Inhale, lift up halfway, flat back. Exhale, coming to that high plank. On an inhale, shift forward about an inch. And on an exhale, bring the elbows to 90 degrees to chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog with your thighs lifted. And then exhale, downward facing dog. So at any point, you can skip that. Just a reminder. So you can always meet us in downward facing dog. Bring your feet to meet your hands at the top of the mat. On an inhale, lift up halfway, flat back. Exhale, release forward. Inhale, root to rise, palms to the sky. And exhale, bring your hands to heart and center. Inhale, palms to the sky. And grabbing your left wrist with your right hand. And on exhale, bending over to the right side to feel a nice side body twist in our standing crescent. So keeping your feet together, just a nice gentle bend to the right. Inhaling back to center, swap your arms. The left hand is grabbing the right wrist and bending over to the left side. Exhale. Breathing here, breathing to the side of your body to feel that stretch. Inhale, releasing back down. And exhale, hands to heart and center. From here, we'll move into our sun B salutation. So inhale, bring your arms up by your ears, sitting back in your invisible chair. Your feet should be together. Toes can still be seen underneath your knees, and you should be able to lift your toes up off the floor. From here, bring your hands to your heart. We are going to take a twist, so hooking the left elbow on the right knee and twist over the right side. Trying to bring your hands to your heart, not sinking into that elbow, lifting your chest, and trying to sink a little bit deeper in that chair. Coming back to center, you can keep your hands in prayer and taking a twist to the left side, so hooking your right elbow on your left knee and twisting over here. Again, trying to bring those hands to your heart, keeping your chest lifted, all while trying to sink a little bit deeper. Coming back to center, bring your hands by your ears. Again, sinking deeper into that chair, lifting your gaze. On an exhale, fold forward, straighten the legs. Uttanasana. On an inhale, lift up halfway, flat back. On an exhale, coming back to your Vinyasa, which is your chaturanga, up dog, down dog, or opting to meet in down dog. Wherever you are today. On an inhale, bring your right leg to the sky. On an exhale, kicking your right foot open to the left to open up that hip. It may feel good to roll out the ankle here. Straightening your leg, bring it back to center. Back to free-legged dog. On an exhale, bring your right foot outside your right hand to the very edge of the mat. Lowering your left knee to the floor, untucking the toes, and bring your hands underneath your shoulders. So this is our gecko pose. So you have a few options here. You can stay here, or you can always come down to your elbows if you want a deeper stretch. If you want more of a challenge, reach back with your right hand. You can kick your left foot in and grab it if you want a bind. So wherever you are today, breathing here, feeling that stretch. If you were in a bind, slowly returning you're on your forearms, coming back with your hands underneath your shoulders, tucking the back toes, and stepping back for another vinyasa, or opting to meet us in downward dog. And at any time, if you feel like you need a break, you can always take child's pose. Inhale the left leg to the sky, three-legged dog. On an exhale, kick over the left foot over to the right side to open the left hip. Here you can roll out the ankle, breathing here. Bring your legs straight back to center, hips forward. On an exhale, bring your left foot outside your left hand. Lower your right knee to the mat, untuck the toes, coming into gecko or lizard on the left side. Again, same options. You can do what you did on the other side, hand that's underneath your shoulders. You can come down to your forearms or kick your right foot up to your booty and reach back with your left hand to take a bind. Breathing here. Feeling that nice stretch in your hips. And no matter where you are, coming back to bring your hands underneath your shoulders. And on an exhale, stepping back for another vinyasa, or meeting us in down dog. Bring your feet to meet your hands at the top of the mat. Either walk, step, or count. Feet together. Inhale, lift up halfway, flat back, hands on your shins. Exhale, release, fold forward, Uttanasana. On an inhale, sweeping your arms across the floor by your ears, sitting back again in that invisible chair. And exhale, bring your hands to heart and center, release, straighten your legs. Returning to our mountain pose. From here, we'll move into our tree. So inhaling, bring your feet together. On an inhale, we'll lift the right knee so it's parallel to the right hip. On an exhale, externally rotate your hip to the right, and using your right hand, placing the foot on either the thigh, the calf, or anywhere on the leg that's not the knee. And when you're ready, when you feel secure in this position, bringing your hands to heart and center. So if you're having challenges with your balance, trying to focus on one area and breathe here. So maybe you focus on a back of the skirt, maybe a bag, a chair, a piece of paper, whatever you need to do or anything on the wall. Breathing here, making sure you're not sinking into your left hip. You are a strong tree. If you like more of a challenge, inhale your arms up to the sky to grow your branches. And you can always bring your hands back down if you feel unsteady. Bring your hands back to center. Kick your right knee back to the top of the mat. Kick your right knee out, straighten your leg, and bring it back to meet your left. And you can walk it out here. It feels really good. And now we'll do the same on the left side. So inhaling your left knee up. On an exhale, externally rotating to the left side. Using your left hand, placing the left foot on the thigh or the calf, anywhere just not the knee. And bring your hands to heart and center when you're ready. Trying to focus, try not to sink in your right hip, but trying to maintain that balance of your tree. Breathing here. Again, finding somewhere to focus. Keeping your head high. And if you happen to lose it, just come right back to where you need to be. And if you feel comfortable here, you can inhale your arms up to the sky to grow your branches, or you can stay where you are. Breathing here. Slowly return your hands back to center. Bring your knee back to center. Kick out your leg and walk it out. On an inhale, reaching your arms up by your ears and coming back to that chair pose. Sitting back, making sure you can see your toes underneath your knees. On an exhale, open up your right arm to the back of the mat, reaching long, still sitting in that chair pose. Inhale, bring them back to center by your ears. Exhale, release the left arm in the back of the mat. Gaze will follow. Exhale, back to center. Breathing here. On an exhale, straighten the legs, release, fold forward. Inhale, lift up, flat back. Exhale, stepping back for your vinyasa or opting to meet us in down dog. Taking a few breaths here. So we return to the sun-based salutation and continue to warm up the body. On an inhale, lift your right leg to the sky. Three-legged dog. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, right knee to right elbow. Inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, right knee to left elbow. Inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, plant your right foot between your hands. Release your back knee to the mat. Coming to a low lunge and inhaling your arms up by your ears. From here, exhale and cactus the arms. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, bring them back down to either side of your leg. And coming to your heel on the right side, placing your right heel on the mat, straightening out the leg, making sure your hips are on top of your knee, coming to a half split. So your hands can be on either side here and feeling that nice hamstring stretch. Placing your right foot on the mat, coming back into that lunge, inhaling your arms up, and exhale, coming back down to either side, stepping back for vinyasa, or again, opting to meet in downward dog. Again, focusing, making sure your gaze is focused on that point between your feet on the mat. Inhale, lift the left leg to the sky, three-legged dog. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, three-legged dog. Left knee to left elbow. Inhale to three-legged dog. Left knee to right elbow. Inhale to three-legged dog. Exhale, plant the left foot between the hands. Release the right knee to the mat. Inhale the arms up as we come to a low lunge on the left side. Exhale, cactus the arms. Inhale, reach up high. Exhale, bring them down to either side. Coming onto your left heel, straightening the leg. Making sure your hips are still on top of your right knee. Making sure your left heel is on the mat, straightening that leg. And you can always fold forward, keep your fingertips on the ground, whatever feels good for you in that hamstring stretch. And breathing here. Planting your left foot on the mat. Inhale your arms up to another low lunge. And exhale, coming back down, stepping back for another vinyasa. Bring your feet to meet your hands. Feet together. Inhale, lift up halfway, flat back. Exhale, release. Inhale, sweeping your arms up, sitting back in that invisible chair. And exhale, straighten your legs, release. Inhale, sitting back in your invisible chair, Utkatasana. Exhale, straighten your legs, fold forward. Inhale, lift up halfway, flat back. Exhale, planting your hands down, stepping back for Vinyasa, or meeting us in downward dog. Inhale, right leg to the sky. Exhale, planting your right foot between your hands, dropping your left foot to the ground, keeping your hips forward. Inhale your arms up into warrior one. Breathing here. Exhale, cactus the arms, open the chest. Inhale, reach up. On exhale, interlace the fingers behind your back. Inhale the chest up to open it. And exhale as you fold forward on that right knee. Breathing here. Inhale, palms to the sky, coming back into warrior one. And exhale, bring your hands to the mat, stepping back for Vinyasa, or opting to meet us in downward dog. On an inhale, lifting your left leg to the sky. Exhale, planting your left foot between your hands, dropping your right foot to the mat. Inhale your arms up into warrior one. Exhale, cactus the arms. Inhale, reach up. Interlacing your fingers behind your back on an exhale, maybe taking a different grip this time. On an inhale, lift up the chest, lift up your head. Exhale, fold forward over your left leg to humble your warrior. Trying to lift your fingers over your glutes so they're floating in the air. Inhale, coming back to warrior one. And exhale, stepping back for Vinyasa, or meeting in down dog, as there is always that option. And if you need a minute, we'll be here for a few breaths. So if you'd like to come in a child's pose for a few breaths, or you can opt to stay in downward dog. If you're in child's pose, returning back to downward dog. Breathing here. Bring your feet to meet your hands at the top of the mat. On an inhale, lift up halfway, flat back. Exhale, release down. Inhale, sitting back in that chair again, sweeping your arms up by your ears. Exhale, straighten your legs, release. Inhale, coming back into Utkatasana, that invisible chair. Exhale, straighten your legs, fold forward. Inhale, lift up halfway, flat back. Exhale, stepping back for Vinyasa, or opting to meet in downward dog. On an inhale, coming to three-legged dog, lifting your right leg to the sky. Exhale, plant the right foot between your hands, dropping your left foot to the mat, opening your to the left side into warrior two. So your arms are in the capital T, right arm forward, bend in that front leg. Your gaze should be over your right middle finger. Breathing here, maintaining a strong warrior two. On an inhale, lift the right palm, and on exhale, we'll reverse that warrior. Lifting your right palm to the sky, left hand on your left thigh. Gaze follows your right hand. Breathing here. Exhale, coming back into warrior two. Straightening your front leg and shifting your back foot in. maybe about a foot, keeping your feet in the same direction. On an inhale, shift forward slightly, and on an exhale, tipping over, your right hand comes to your right shin, left arm to the sky. Coming into a triangle pose. Your chest opens to the left side of your mat. Your chest is lifted. Breathing here. And you can always opt to stay here, or bring your hands to your heart, bring them into a prayer position, Anjali Mudra, bending to your right knee, lifting off your back left foot, keeping your toes pointed out to the left side, coming to a half moon balancing pose. Trying to keep your head to your feet in one line. Holding here. If you need to, you can reach the right arm down and open the chest, lifting the left arm to the sky. Or you can always use a block here as well. And exhale, dropping your back foot, coming back into warrior two. Cartwheeling the hands back down to the mat, stepping back for another vinyasa. Or meeting us in down dog. On an inhale, lift the left leg to the sky. Exhale, plant the left foot between your hands, dropping your back right foot, curling your hands up into warrior two on the right side. Left arm is forward, right arm back in that capital T position. Gazes over that middle finger, keeping your arms straight and engaged. Breathing here, your front leg is bent. On an inhale, flipping your left palm. On an exhale, reverse that warrior, lifting your left palm to the sky, gaze follows. Right hand on your upper right thigh. Exhale, coming back to warrior two. Again, bending in that front knee. Straighten your front leg, your left leg, bringing your right foot in, about a foot. On an inhale, shift forward slightly. On an exhale, tip your left hand to your left shin. Reach your right arm up to the sky to open up into triangle pose. And from here, you can bring your hands to center, heart and center, or you can just place your left arm, left hand slightly forward in front of your left foot. Kick up your right leg up, reach your right arm up to the sky, toes facing the right side of the mat as we come into half moon. And balance here. And exhale, coming back into warrior two. Cartwheel the hands back down to the mat, stepping back for another vinyasa. Meeting in down dog if you need to. And bring your feet to meet your hands, slowly rolling on up. Open to the right side of your mat, keeping your toes pointed forward, placing your hands on your hips. We'll come into a wide-legged forward fold. The toes are pointed forward on the long side of your mat. Legs are wide, hands on your hips. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, hinge at the hips, fold forward. From here, you can reach your hands down on the mat. You can walk them forward. If that feels good, you can walk them back. Or if it's available to you, you can chaturanga the arms. Breathing here. Walking your feet, your hands over to your right foot. Placing your left hand on your right ankle and exhale your right arm up to the sky to take a twist. Exhale, slowly returning to center, walking over to the left side, placing your right hand on your left ankle, reaching your left arm up to the sky to take a twist here. Exhale, release back down. From here, slowly rolling on up, turning your toes out slightly, and raising your arms up to the sky to form letter X with your body, or star pose. On an exhale, squatting down into our horse or goddess pose, cactus in your arms. Breathing here. Perhaps you lift your heels off the ground for an extra challenge. Keeping your gaze forward. Exhale, coming back to your star pose. Breathing here. Squatting back down into a horse or goddess pose. Again, you have the option to lift the heels here. And exhale, dropping the feet, bring your hands to heart and center. From here, we'll take a bend into the right knee, keeping your feet where they are, but placing the left toes on the mat, the left heel on the mat, lifting your left toes to the sky into Skandasana, or like a runner's side lunge. So here you can bring your hands to heart and center and hold this pose. If it's not available to you, you can place your hands on the floor, on the mat, or on a block, whichever works for you today. Breathing here, feeling that nice stretch in your hamstring. Placing your right hand on the mat, about on the right side of your right foot, so towards the back of the mat. Twisting over and placing your right foot on the mat, placing your right hand in front, lifting your left foot off the mat, coming back in a half moon on this side, lifting your left arm to the sky. Toes point out to the outside. So your head's facing the back of the mat. And exhale, release back down into warrior two. Now your right arm is facing the back of the mat. Turning your toes back forward to the long side of the mat, placing your hands on your hips. So we'll take another forward fold. So inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, hinge at the hips, fold forward. Release your head, release your neck. Maybe you walk your hands out a little more in front of you, almost, and release your head between your hands. Almost like a wide down dog. Exhale, walking your hands back underneath your shoulders. On an exhale, we're going to take the same side lunge on the left side. So sinking into your left foot, straightening your right leg, heel on the mat, into Skandasana. So you have the option to stay here. You can also bring your hands to heart and center if that works for you. And you can always use a block. Placing the left hand outside of the left foot, turning over to face your toes to pointing to the top of the mat. Exhale as we lift up off the right foot, reaching the right arm to the sky, left hand on the mat into half moon on the left side. And your gaze can always follow your top hand. Exhale, coming back to warrior two. And cartwheeling your hands back down into one more vinyasa. I promise it's gonna be yummy after this. On an inhale, lifting your right leg to the sky. Exhale, right knee to right wrist. Release the back toes, coming to half pigeon. So a couple options here, keeping your hands underneath your shoulders. You can come down to your forearms here. Or you can bring your third eye to the mat, release your arms long, into a sleepy pigeon. So we'll be here for about 2 minutes. So no matter where you are, make sure it's a pose you can hold. And I'll cue you for when we're a little bit closer. So if you want to take a deeper stretch, you can. So breathing here, you should feel this in your psoas and your hips. Perhaps you reach your left toes a little longer to kind of extend your body. Breathing here, always coming back to that breath. So we have about another minute left. So if you wanted to take it a little bit deeper, you can. Breathing into whatever pose modification you choose today. This is a great hip opener, so you should feel this in your hips, opening up your glutes. Breathing here. And if you went a little bit deeper, slowly coming up, bring your hands underneath your shoulders. Inhaling your chest open. Taking a breath. And exhale, stepping back into downward dog. And we'll take the same pose on the left side. So inhaling your left foot up to the sky into three-legged dog. Exhale, left knee to left wrist. Release your right toes. Coming back down to pigeon on this side. Again, few options. You keep your hands underneath your shoulders. Coming down to your forearms, if that feels good for you. Or perhaps you reach long into a sleepy pigeon, bring your forehead to the mat. Again, no matter where you are today, that's a pose that you are comfortable for holding for about 2 minutes. And breathing into your energy into your hips. We have just about a minute left, so if you wanted to take a deeper stretch, maybe you're on your hands, maybe you want to come to your forearms, or maybe you want to bring your head down to the mat, reaching your arms long, wherever feels good. And this side may not feel the same as your right side, which is totally normal. Feeling the hip open, feeling the stretch here. If you reached long or you're on your forearms, maybe bring your hands back underneath your shoulders. Inhale to lift the chest, lift your head, and exhale. One more time, inhale, and exhale, stepping back into downward dog again. Maybe walking the legs out, that feels really good. And when you're ready, coming to a seated position on your mat, feet on the floor, knees to the sky. Bringing your booty as close to your heels as you can, and slowly rolling on back. So trying to keep your feet about hip width apart here. We're going to take a few cat-cows on the mat on our backs. So as you inhale, lifting your back off the mat gently, and exhale, rounding it down, lifting your tailbone. So just as we were at the beginning of class. Inhale, bring your tailbone to the mat, lifting up your back, feeling the space between your back and the mat. And exhale, rounding down, your back touching the mat, lifting up your tailbone, rounding the spine. Inhale, lifting up. And exhale, coming to a cat on the mat. And then slowly returning to a neutral spine here. Bring your feet about hip width apart, still on the mat, as close as you can to your booty. So trying to reach your heels with your hands. On an inhale, we're gonna lift up the glutes to the sky, coming to a bridge pose. From here, you can interlace the fingers under the knees, trying to tuck the shoulders in on the mat. Breathing here. Feeling your quads working, your glutes working. And exhale, slowly releasing back down. You can windshield wipe your legs, moving them side to side to release that. Returning your knees back to the sky, feet on the mat, coming to the same position. We'll take one more bridge pose. So inhaling your glutes up to the sky, interlacing your fingers underneath your glutes, try and tuck the shoulders underneath, and feeling that nice stretch. Keeping your head on the mat, breathing here. Breathing energy into your muscles. And exhale, releasing your hands, slowly rolling on down. Again, you can windshield at your legs, side to side. And bringing your knees into your chest, hugging them in. We'll take a supine twist. So bring your knees over to the right side of your body. You can cactus the arms or capital T the arms. Gaze can go whichever direction feels good for you. So if you want to, depending on what stretch you want today. Breathing into this position. Trying to keep both shoulders on the mat. So if for some reason one shoulder is lifted, using a block to make sure that both shoulders are on the mat, or you can use a pillow or a blanket. Breathing here. And exhale, return the gaze back to center. Bring your knees back into your chest. Give them another hug. And then knock them over to the left side. Taking a cactus or capital T with your arms. Again, doing whatever you do on the other side with your head to kind of even out the body. Breathing here. Feeling that nice side body stretch. And again, making sure both shoulders touch the mat. So you may find one side's a little different than the other. And trying to get, your knees to keep together and touch the mat as well to feel that nice supine twist. Exhale, return your head back to the center, hugging your knees in one last time. Before we enter our final pose of Shavasana, you can take a happy baby if you like, stretch whatever yoga stretch you need today. So if you want to take a happy baby, you put your heels into your feet into your hands, rock side to side. Or you take a waterfall, legs up to the sky. So when you're ready, coming back to the pose we started class with today. Extending your legs long on the mat, letting your toes naturally turn out, palms up to the sky. Closing your eyes and taking this time for you. Inhaling through the nose and exhaling through the nose at that same breath we started with. Relaxing your body, relaxing your mind, releasing any tension in your face, in your jaw. Releasing your tongue, relax. As we enter the final pose of class, And the most important one, Shavasana. Slowly feeling the feeling return to your body, touching each fingertip with your thumb. Slowly begin to wiggle your toes, coming back to your breath. Inhale, reach up long, stretching your body into a good morning wake-up stretch. And exhale as you use the right arm as a pillow and come into a fetal position on the right side. And keeping your eyes closed, slowly coming out to a seated position on your mat, bringing your hands to your heart. Thank you for sharing your yoga practice with me this evening. I wanted to leave you with a quote from the Bhagavad Gita, which is a traditional yoga book. Yoga is the journey of the self, through the self, and to the self. So the divine light in me bows to the divine light in each and every one of you. Namaste.